What is going on, YouTube? God, I always say YouTube. What is going on, everyone? It's your boy Alex G back again. This is like my YouTube intro. What is the normal intro?
Yeah, what are you doing?
I don't even know. What is going on, everyone? I don't know how to intro these things anymore. It's your boy Alex G. I'm alongside Mal, and this is the A Couple of Things podcast, where we're here to talk about a couple of things.
I was going to talk about how... well, I want to order Girl Scout cookies in their own DoorDash now, so... we're not going to talk about that, but I just saw it. You like Girl Scout cookies?
Not that much. They're kind of overrated, to be honest.
Now to think about it, since we've been together, I don't think I've ever seen you eat any Girl Scout cookies.
I've had Girl Scout cookies.
Since we've been together, I said.
They're really overrated, though. Like, high key.
Yeah, because low-key, like...
It's just a regular cookie.
Yeah,
like,
you could get those same flavors in other brands.
Literally every other brand.
Every brand sells mint cookies. Every brand sells, like, those coconut cookies. Like, what's that one brand? Like, I have those pecan shortbread cookies. What's that brand?
Keebler makes those, right?
Yeah, right. And don't they also make those like
every
coconut,
other type,
coconut cookies?
Every other type of cookie, and they all taste the same.
Like the peanut butter cookies taste like the ones I have up there.
Like if you ever had mint ice cream from like every brand, it'll all taste exactly the same. It's kind of like the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, some do taste a little different about them, a little bit, but they're not that much different. They definitely are overrated.
Yeah, they're overrated.
I will be ordering.
Thin mints be hitting though.
Yeah. I feel like I never really had no cookies that taste like them.
Yeah, I can't say that I've had those. But everything else, yeah. Because this is a cookie. It's not like they revolutionized anything, really. I think
like they have a secret formula.
It's the limited ability. I heard, I forget, I was watching another podcast and they pulled up the data. They said that the Girl Scouts are making like...
millions?
I don't want to say billion.
That's crazy.
Oh wait, you know how much was it? Was it half a bill? How much was it? 50 million or something? Some like crazy number that they make in only selling them for like a few months out the year.
Do you think they will make more money if they sold them all year round, or do you think that's like a part of the appeal? Is that you have a short window?
That's a part of the appeal because I know people that will go and buy out all of the cookies
to have like a year supply.
Yeah.
Maya used to be a Girl Scout. Do you know that?
No, I did not.
We used to have, like, I think I could, if I go on Facebook, I could definitely find the picture when we had the boxes in our trunk, like not black, like the big brown boxes of all within the brown boxes. There was a whole bunch of the Girl Scout cookies. We used to have a whole bunch.
Brandon used to be a Boy Scout.
Really? They don't have cookies, right?
Nah, Boy Scouts are bankrupt, right? They don't exist anymore?
They should have came up with something they should have came up with some type of thing. But what are you gonna do? You can't sell cookies. Like how mad a little boy selling cookies? That just don't seem right.
Also, because I don't think that's the reason why they shut down. You know.
Oh yeah.
The people, the creeper scoutmasters. I'm not calling nobody a scoutmaster. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they went bankrupt.
What's the point of Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts anyway? Right.
It's supposed to give kids a I guess life skills, to be completely honest. Like how to be with people, outdoor skills.
How to talk to people.
And a place for pedophiles to show up to a common place.
Girl Scout could probably could launder money through Girl Scout.
No, that's why I brought up the thing. They definitely launder money.
There's definitely something to it.
And I want to say the Girl Scouts bought the Boy Scouts or something. Are the Boy Scouts still in business? They filed for bankruptcy in 2020.
Oh, wow. That was recent.
Because of all their allegations. Maybe they didn't buy them.
How do you get into Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts? Because now that I think about it, I don't even know how Maya got into it. Because me and Mir didn't do it. There's
like chapters and you just kind of go fill out
paperwork. Do they like recruit you?
They can recruit you, yeah. But you can just go fill out paperwork and anybody could be a Boy Scout. I
always wonder, like, when we have kids, how that stuff's going to go. Like, do you encourage your kids to do that, or do they tell you they want to?
I don't think parenting's easy, but, like, it's pretty interesting. Like,
man,
my personal style is, be trying to hear you crunching on pickles. That's insane. I can still hear it. Go get out.
I solved it.
Get out the room.
I solved it.
Hey, yo. I think that parenting is interesting because, like, my own personal parenting style, I would make sure my kid is aware of the available options just in life. Kind of like how my parents really, honestly, parented me. Like, just making sure that you're aware of all these things and exist and aware of the different paths that you can take.
But don't force them to.
Yeah, and, like, take the advice and do what you want with the advice. but just know that these things exist. Because I think knowledge is one of the big things that people don't have, and that could change your life.
And a lot of people become parents without knowledge themselves of life. And all they're doing is raising other ignorant, unknowledge.
We had this conversation the other day talking about like majors and things like that. Like they don't even really, if you take a high school kid going into college and tell them to pick what they want to do for the rest of their life, it's crazy. And so many people don't know the different job titles that exist. Jobs that pop up like every 3 years. Like there's a brand new thing that never existed before.
And schools do a bad job of teaching too, because like obviously being a parent, you should have that burden of teaching, but also schools, they kind of take that job away from you, and they should be doing that job as well. Like I feel like schools don't do enough. I don't know anything about accounting in high school. My mom put me on to accounting because she worked at a Big Four, so that's the only reason I knew what accounting was.
Yeah.
I would have had no like knowledge at all really the finance accounting world. Like even taking economics in school put me on in a way, but the only reason I was interested in economics was because of my mom. Like she told me about that whole world,
Yeah, I kind of like obviously my mom guided me through some of that stuff because we had the same college major.
Yeah.
Like in high school, so I was like kind of set up to know what I was gonna do. Like I made a decision like junior year that I was gonna be in business, and obviously given my dad and his expertise too.
Yeah.
Had to give both of them credit, of course, but I set myself up junior year. I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, and I looked at all the different classes, and I was like, okay, like all the classes, like really all the business classes that I took in college, to some degree, what was available, I took them in high school. Like marketing, I took in high school.
My school didn't have that many options like that. Honestly, all we had was economics.
Yeah, we had
everything else was just like the general requirements. Like all of our electives were like stupid stuff, like home ec. Like why are we learning home economics in high school?
Did you have
and cooking? Like I mean, I guess cooking's a life skill, but why are we learning that? Like I'm about to be a stay-at-home mom once I graduate. Like no.
We had I took that in middle school. Cooking? They had it in high school too, but I took it in middle school.
Yeah. I never took a cooking class, but all my friends did. I used to pop up in their classes.
Did you you have a business school, like a business department?
Not that I remember.
We had a business department.
Like my memory of high school is actually really bad. Like I actually don't remember a lot of it, but I honestly don't remember having that. Like I said, I think the only thing we have is economics. I don't think we had any like extracurriculars that had to do with business.
I really took a lot of those classes in high school. I took business law, business management. I took all those classes senior year, like my entire schedule.
So see, that's why school district does matter then.
It matters 100%.
Oh.
Shout out Mr. Reverso. Holding it down. I don't think he's there at the school anymore, but he did a lot for me in terms of exposing me to different things. And I swear, like having good teachers really is so important because that could literally change people's lives. Like I just saw a video of Adele and her and her singing coach. I think she was right.
I think she was just a random teacher she had in high school. That encouraged
her. She was teaching her English. My fault. She was teaching her English.
Yeah.
And then like that stuff's really important.
I saw a YouTuber too that gave one of their teachers money. Like he gave him like $20,000 or something. I forgot how much it was because he was like, "You're like the only teacher that literally like believed in my." Because like he's always told him like, "Oh, this is what I want to do," and his teacher was like, "Oh yeah, go for it." Like it was nice to talk to him. Like he was one of those teachers.
Mm-hmm.
Gave him like mad money. It was sad too because the teacher was talking about how he was like he's like in his 30s or 40s now, and how he kind of just regrets being a teacher. And how he just feels like this is not what he was meant to do with his life, and like cause he's not making the money he wants to make. I was like, that's actually really depressing. I think you're kind of stuck once you're that deep into your career.
I was thinking like how Jesus, yeah, you got to put the pickle down. It sounds insane in the mic. Yeah, it's important. Like he exposed me to a lot of different elements of business and how to be a good interviewer. Literally all my interviewing skills I would say I got from being in that program that he put me in, and being forced to come up with business decisions in a matter of like 5 minutes for like a complex business problem. being put in those situations helped me a lot. Like literally, I can say that I would not be a good interviewer if it wasn't for him. And that's gotten me so far. Like I've been in so many different interviews, like killed every job interview I've ever had, like absolutely ace, because of the skills I developed from there. So really having a good teacher, somebody that cares, is important. And I was thinking the other day, like how horrible it must be for teachers that have this vision, because there's obviously people that are teachers that just want to teach because it's easy, kind of easy way out. Like it's easy to go work with. Well, let me not.
I know what you mean. Like it's not really easy, but it's kind of like straightforward. You know, like
it's straightforward dealing with little kids. Like
and like you're just like you're teaching.
Yeah, like here's a coloring book.
Compare, if you want to compare it to like my job, like any given day, if something could be wrong, and now you gotta adapt to this number. Like you saw the emails today. This entry was booked, and now you gotta reverse this, and it's just like anything could go. Every quarter is something different I've experienced so far. But like when you're teaching, you're straightforward. You might deal with rowdy students and drama, but like other than that, your job is you're straightforward. Lesson plan, teach the kids. You know. What?
What I was gonna say is there's obviously those people that that are teachers for that reason, just because it's quote unquote easy. Like there's not much even education you really need to have to teach a 2-year-old how to write the alphabet. Not a 2-year-old, a second grader. How to write their ABCs and stuff like that. No disrespect, of course, but that's the reality of it. It's important, of course.
Important, but in terms a lot of patience, and I couldn't do it.
So I was just thinking it must be horrifying, especially because honestly, I probably should have saved this. There was this Reddit thread of people saying like the worst things that they ever did or something.
Like their life decisions or whatever?
Like it was kind of like a thread of people just telling stories about like horrible things that they did to their teachers. Not them personally, but just that had like their teachers had happened to their teachers from the students. I'm like, how terrible must it be to like probably have wanted to be a teacher for your whole life, and then you get a bunch of kids that make you quit.
Students were literally like
the worst.
And I've seen stuff on TikTok. It's getting bad too. I feel like everybody's trying to do these challenges. Like people are so disrespectful. Like the fact that you even like that your parents raised you to even be that type of kid, to disrespect another grown adult. Like I feel like that still comes down to how you were taught in the home. Because there's no reason for you to do that to an adult.
But even still, everybody's personality is different. You could try to teach all you want, but that chemical makeup in a kid's mind is really like parenting. Of course, is important, but at the end of the day, if some kid is in trouble, they're gonna be trouble.
Yeah, that's why you can't blame everything on the parents. Like, oh, what are you doing at home? It's like no, sometimes you're like I said, it's chemical imbalance. Like sometimes your kid is just that's how you find out something's wrong with them.
But if they're doing challenges, I don't think that's chemical imbalance, because that's not even normal human behavior to be doing. Like to pull out a phone and record anything.
It was just like I used to be like literally in shock in school. Like when people would say things to teachers or like do stuff, I used to literally be in shock. Like they would laugh and the teacher was like frazzled. I'm like, this is not funny. Like this is actually kind of scary.
Yeah, no. Definitely in my younger years, we used to. It's crazy.
It's cringe. I can never be a teacher.
It's cringy.
My God, because I would probably fight somebody's kid.
Because I never participated in that, to that extent. Like obviously we know.
But you did like the little stuff.
Never to the teacher though. Like I kind of was like. I don't even know how to explain it. Like I wasn't doing anything actively, but I was like kind of like laughing at the things. And it's not even that people did anything to the teacher necessarily either. But it was just people like, we just talking and not really paying attention to whatever's going on. Or because my subs, a lot of times they weren't doing anything. They just handed out the packets. Which
is smart, because there's nothing then at that point, there's no harassing them. Like people you love and they had the subs.
So people didn't really wild out in that sense. They just didn't do their work.
Yeah, like nothing ever crazy happened with any of my teachers. Yeah, it was just more so like the acting wild. And keep in mind, this stuff didn't happen in my honors and AP classes. Those students knew how to act, because we trying to, all those people now are the same people who are pretty successful in life, I would say. I don't really keep up with people from my school, but in my CP classes, like the regular college prep classes, is that what you guys called yours? Like your regular CP classes?
I thought it was CEP.
Mine was CP. Mine was just called college prep.
It might have just been CP.
It was college prep, honors, and an advanced placement. And then obviously the dumb classes. I don't know what they call them.
The dumb classes.
Like it was like below CP. What were they called?
Below CP is everything.
No, there was a level below CP. No, CP is the lowest level. Ours was AP honors CP. College prep, like your basic college prep. Like you need these classes to get to college.
Oh, no. Ours was different. We're probably talking about two different things.
Honors, it was like, honor students. That's like honors classes. And we had advanced placement AP classes.
Ours, we had a level above AP. Because it was...
I was AP.
It was called like CEP or something like that. And it was...
So what was your regular classes called?
There was just the regular classes. There was no name. There was no name for it. But
we had 4 levels. We had like the really dumb kids who were rejects. Like they had to be in like the slow class. Then we had college prep, honors, advanced placement.
That max level was you got college credits for taking the high school classes.
We had that, but that was in conjunction with the community college. So that wasn't technically a level of class that we had. The kids would literally go to Warren County and like Smith did that. She used to literally go like we had half day senior years. I don't know if you did. And she was ready to fit for her requirements to graduate pretty much. Yeah, so the beginning half of the day, I had stuff I had to finish, so I didn't have no half day. But the beginning half of the day, she would be at Warren County some days, and then she would come back in the afternoon. Okay.
Yeah. What else we got?
But yeah. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, our kids are disrespectful to teachers. Yeah, that's horrible to have that job. I think you have to be like. I feel like people have in their mind about what type of teacher they're going to be, especially being how young we are, and we're not far removed from high school. That was 7-8 years ago. So like it's crazy how a lot of like people that we went to school with are teachers right now. Like our high school students are like classmates are teachers now. So I feel like everybody has in their mind about how the school teacher they're going to be, and it just sometimes don't work out. You could be the coolest teacher and the kids still don't like you. So I can never do it, but I definitely do agree. What you were saying before about the parenting stuff, that like sometimes your kid might just be chemically imbalanced. That's what I'm scared to be a parent. This is, oh my God. Sometimes life is just living with just worrying about you. Like I really just want to have kids to see what a mini me would look like, and I feel that's not a good mindset to have. If you just want a kid to see what you're, that's narcissistic. Like that's low-key narcissistic. Yeah. I only want a kid to see what my mixture will look like with you, and to have a twin. I hope I have a daughter that looks just like me. Ew, that's gonna be so weird though. But yeah, one day we'll have our kids. When I'm mentally stable, when I'm emotionally stable, financially stable. All right. So speaking of parenting. We can segue into the next topic and talk about. Did that interview ever come out? The Jason Lee interview, the Hollywood Unlocked interview with Kanye? I feel like it didn't come out, and it's weird because he said he was posting it like Thursday or Friday. Do you think Kim blocked it? Like, do you think it's being blocked by somebody? So, what do you think's the holdup? You think he's trying to build anticipation? Weird, right? Because clips keep coming out. So what do you like when stuff like this happens? What do you think is the reason it's not coming out?
Kanye probably just don't want it to come out. Kim can't. She don't have no control over nothing.
Damn, you think it's Kanye?
Yeah, you probably just want to edit it, just have it edited a certain way.
Yeah.
Certain things added, omitted,
make sure
whatever.
we reviews it.
Kim don't have power like that. She really don't. Like, not anymore.
I mean, money is power.
Money is power, but not when the other person has more money than you.
Yeah.
It don't work that way anymore.
We had an interview with Kanye. We're waiting. But, so like I said, speaking of parenting, I was talking about how a lot of clips that came out from the interview was Kanye talking about, like, his divorce struggles and dealing with co-parenting. And I just feel like everybody was so opinionated on him moving next door or across the street or whatever it is to the kids. And he explained in the interview how, like, he hates that the media tried to spin that when really he was, he said that in the song too, like, that just came out. Like, what do you think the point of being rich is for? Like, this is the point. Like, so my kids could just run across the street to see me, even though him and your mom and me didn't work out, I'm still right here, That's how he explained it, how the media made it seem like he was some crazy person. And even some people in comments were like, well, he still could have moved, like, around the block. He didn't have to be right there. But then he also explained, he's like, because he doesn't want to have to go through security to see his kids. 'Cause it's kind of max, right? You got to go through the gate every single time to come see your kids. Like, I mean, that's not really that crazy. Because I'm sure they know who you are, right? Like, if they see you. But I think you still got to go through, like, I mean, if you live, well, no matter, yeah, because if you didn't live there, you still have to go through the clearances, right? Even if you're Kanye, like, you still got to be like, did Kim want you here?
Yeah, because everybody over there is rich and powerful. No matter who's coming through that gate.
And, you know, when you live there, now you still got to go through that gate, but you live there. So all you need to do is swipe your pass, you know, whatever. So, yeah, and I just feel like it's just crazy how, like, a lot of people have their 2 cents to say. Like, everyone wants to kind of be so crazy and stuff. And that's just crazy because, like, in my opinion, I think a lot of people... Sorry, this is not good.
You got 300 on the neck?
Yeah.
That's ice.
Gold. I have another one, too, but you can't see it.
Wealth.
But, yeah. I just feel like a lot of people who are opinionated like this, like, about that, I think they're, like... I feel like if your dad wasn't in your life, you can't speak on Kanye's parenting. What do you think? Is that mean? Like, how, like, people want to judge Kanye about his decision to move next to his kids, calling it weird. But I'm like, how is that weird? What's weird is your dad not paying. Oh, I just got an order. $58. Yay! Money. Yeah, I'm like, is that mean, though, to say, like, that if your dad was a deadbeat, that you shouldn't have an opinion on Kanye moving next to his kids?
No, I think if you're a deadbeat, then you can't have an opinion on somebody else's parenting. But you as a person didn't have any control. Because then that's like saying...
But you would have wanted that. Like, you're saying that's weird, but what's weird is your dad not taking care of you. That's weird.
Two things can be true.
So what's your opinion? Because I think we have good opinions coming from... Well, I mean, you could have an opinion from a divorce perspective, but we come from 2-parent homes. So I feel like we can give our opinions.
No, it might be the opposite. Somebody that went through a divorce, a kid that went through a divorce would be the best people.
Yeah, you're right.
We would be the worst people to talk to.
But still, what's your opinion on him moving next door? Like, with the whole, him saying the security, you know, talking about that whole thing and how he doesn't want to deal with all that. Like, do you feel like he still could have moved to somewhere else within that community and not right next door? Or do you think being next door is useful, especially because next door is not literally next door? Like, these people don't realize it's not Compton, it's Calabasas. Like, next door literally could be a mile. So people be speaking from their perspective of their houses being 2 feet apart. Like, no, this is Calabasas. These houses are probably acres apart. So what's your opinion on
it? I don't know. I can't really give... I don't know. It's a tough thing to give opinion on somebody and their parenting and their kids. That's none of my business. I just think...
Like, he has multiple properties, so it's not like he's always going to be there. I think people have in their mind that he's about to just sit there and watch Kim and, like, be...
Does he? Because all of them up for listing.
Malibu, too?
Well,
he was in Malibu the other day. So I think he spends most of the time in Malibu.
That's the only one, I think. Everything else is for sale or sold already.
Okay. But
like all the other Wyoming stuff.
Yeah. But that's what I meant, like, within Cali. Like, he has Malibu, and I think he has a house that he got now. Like... And honestly, I don't think, like, I could see him spending multiple, like, equal time at both properties. Like, I don't think, people act like he's about to be sitting there on the dates. He knows he's not seeing the kids, just watching, you know? Like, I don't think it's like that, you know?
I could just say what I would personally do. I wouldn't have done that.
You wouldn't have moved right next door?
No.
Would you have moved within the same community, maybe, but maybe on the opposite side?
No.
Would you just have moved nearby?
No.
So you would have them driving all the way up to Calibu.
I would.
Calibu. Malibu.
That's that new city. They just dropped that. That's an NFT?
Shut up. No, you would. Malibu to Calabasas is far.
Calibu.
Let's look at the map. Did you guys go to Malibu when you were out there? Did you guys drive?
I don't believe so.
I would say that I would have gave you the perspective. I didn't either when I was out there. I want to. Next time we got to go to Cali this year. But,
I'm saying I wouldn't because if I was living in a completely different state for years, I'm not going to come back and now move across the street.
Okay, it's 20-minute drive to Malibu.
To Calibu.
From Calabasas.
But that's just me. I personally wouldn't.
But him moving out the state thing, because I feel that was a lot of people's argument. They're like, oh, he moved out the state and he did all that and now he wants to be right there. But I don't think a lot of people realize, like, him moving out the state was literally for the sake of his mental health. Like, don't you think... Don't you think if he would have stuck around while he was going through that huge, crazy manic episode, that he probably would have inflicted way more damage, irreversible damage, possibly onto Kim and the kids, like PTSD type trauma on his family? I think him removing himself was probably the right thing to do, and to be in a place like Wyoming. And then once he kind of got better, you could tell he wanted them out there with him, and Kim said no because she wanted to stay in Cali. And then even then, he still made efforts like. He saw them weekly at Sunday services. Like, he did Sunday services in Cali. He did them in Wyoming. So, I don't know. I feel like the whole argument about him moving out there, it's like when people bring it up, I'm like, well, he did that for literally. Like that's like, when he said, well, what do you think the point of being rich for? Like, that's like what he means. Like, an average person having mental health crisis doesn't have that luxury to get up and go buy a property in a whole other state, like, to save their family, basically. So, like, that's like a benefit of being rich. Like, you use you being rich to go move to another state and get some sanity, So I honestly think that was a good decision for him to do that. Like I said, it probably would have been worse if he stayed.
Okay.
You don't agree? You don't think he should have moved?
No, I just said okay.
Do you think he could have moved to a different part of Cali instead of moving all the way to Wyoming?
I think he only did that for the tax break anyway.
Dang. I didn't think about it that way. You think I'd be giving celebrities too much credit?
Yeah, because the second that he went to Wyoming, he got business credits for Yeezy.
No. I mean, but he still did it for his mental health, though. Like, I still think it was for both. No, but you see how relaxing it looked out there. But he probably did, because what's the name did it too? Jeffree Star.
Yeah. Remember what I just said earlier about people getting tax benefits for having farms?
Yeah.
How much livestock did he have there?
I forgot.
A lot. There you go.
I mean, I don't know. In my opinion, okay, yeah, maybe next door across the street is a little OD. But, like he said, if they were still married, there would be no difference. He would be right there anyway. So he says he feels like just because him and his wife is having issues and they have problems, why should the kids have to be involved in that? And I feel like that's fair. Like, why should things have to change really drastically for the kids just because you and the wife split? Like, they should still be able to go see their dad like it's nothing. Like, run across the street and be like, I'm going to go see dad. Like, when you're home, we grew up in two-parent homes, so we don't know what that's like. But you have that luxury of be like, oh, mommy's making me mad. I'm going to go talk to my dad. Like, I'm going to go, like, you have that luxury of, like, your dad's right upstairs or your dad's in the office. Like, I feel like when you're rich, you have that luxury to be like, all right, I'm going to buy the house next door. That me and your mom not working out, but that don't mean nothing to the kids. The kids should still be able to come see me whenever, the same way we got to see our parents whenever. There was no, oh, I got to wait to see my mom next week. Like, I can't imagine living like that. Like, it was nice to, even my parents were beefing. All right, mommy's in the basement working out. I'm going to go down and talk to her. Dad's out at the store. He'll be right back. Like, So I feel like the kids shouldn't have to deal with, just because your parents not working out, like, why should the kids have to suffer, That was his argument. I'm like, that's true. Like, we don't know what it's like being rich. We don't know what that luxury is like to be like, all right, we're divorced, but I'm going to buy the house right next door, So I think it's fine. And let the kids be able to see their parents whenever. Like, you don't got to see each other. Like I said, these are acres wide houses and, like, with tree-lined streets. Like, he probably couldn't even see Kim. If he was over there, he probably wouldn't be able to see because the trees cover up everything, So I don't know. People made it seem like he's like gonna be a creep and he's just doing that to watch. Like, I really don't think so. I really think he wants to make sure he's in his kids' lives because he experienced that. That's what he said in the interview. He experienced divorce life, and that was huge. Atlanta to Chicago, that's a huge distance apart. That's why he didn't see his dad for like years sometimes, So I don't know. I think since he went through it, he could speak on it, and this is his way of showing how he felt like it impacted him. And I think he worries how it's going to impact his kids that same way. He doesn't want to repeat a cycle,
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's cool. I think they could coexist. But we'll see. We'll see what the future holds. We're going to hear some news about him throwing a boulder across the street.
No, Kim's going to move out.
Nah, she can't. They put too much work into the house.
They could sell it just as quickly.
Nah, if Kim moved out, that would be crazy.
That would be not funny.
That wouldn't be funny because everybody would call her birthday baby mama. Because, like, wait, like, what are you doing? That's why it must be nice, like, as a divorced parent, to just your kids to be 18. Because then they can do whatever they want. Like, it's crazy how their kids are kind of in control of whoever. But once they're 18, they could be like, I'm moving in with dad. I'm doing this. And it's crazy because they did. That's the thing. Kanye's not signing the divorce papers. So they never even went through a custody battle yet. Because I'm assuming Kim has primary custody, but that's always going to be the case. Especially with Kanye's like mental health history, he probably wouldn't win primary custody.
That's why I question what the point of the custody hearings even are, because the men are never going to win it. So it's like, what's the point?
I mean, in rare cases they do though.
Honestly, yeah, but
it's rare, but they do sometimes.
It's like, you might as well not even waste your time. If you get divorced and you have little kids, you might as well just give up.
Yeah, just be like, here, whatever.
Yeah, just stop caring about your kid.
Just be like, what they even want me to see him.
There's nothing. The court is never going to side with you no matter what.
Yeah.
And not even that. They're giving full custody. They're not even getting split custody. They're not giving you one day a week.
Usually women will get primary. They will call it primary custody. Whereas you have them basically most days and nights, like most days of the week. Like I know, like for some people, like they will go to their dad's house on the weekends, and they're with their mom 5 days a week. And then I'm taking this for this tax exam. That's the only thing though. See, that's kind of messed up though, because when the moms get primary custody from a tax perspective, they get those breaks and all that. The dads don't get none of that. Because their child's primary residence was with the mom, so they would be considered the tax like benefit for the mom. So you lose twice, right? You lose those tax benefits and you lose your kids seeing them most days. That's so sad. That's why people at the end of the day, people don't like stop laying down with people and having kids with these people, and you know y'all can be in it for long term, or at least, in my opinion, at least work it out for 18 years, and then when the kids are all grown. Then divorce. I feel that's so selfish to lay together and be like selfish beings and just have these kids like their props and then put them do this and put yourself through that. Like it's just dumb. You would think people would learn by now, but people are so freaking mesmerized by sex. It's just like so crazy to me. Like how you that blinded and that like so into it that you just like, boom, baby. With somebody that you don't even like most cases people don't even be married, you know. Like, if you're married, okay, like, you're married, duh. But even marriages, a lot of these marriages, like, are not even based, they're not founded on anything. Like, that's why I hate the whole people trying to rush people into marriage. Because it's like, look at all these relationships that end. Like, you know, what's the name broke up today? Ryan Destiny and Keith Powers. You know, that was everybody's couple. That was like the De'Ara and Ken of the black community. So everybody's also sad and stuff. I'm like, but this is why. Like, there's people who I know who have dated for less than 4 years and are married already. Like, you really don't know these people that long. Like, that's why you think these long-term relationships end. Like, people just get married because they just think that's what they're supposed to do. And they really don't even know the person for real. That's why it's like, don't be rushing me to get married. Because I'm going to make sure this is solid. I'm not going through no divorce. No. I'm not going through no custody battles. When we locked in, we going to be locked in for life.
What else we got?
Stop being annoying before I smack you.
Stop touching me.
Touch. So to keep going with Kanye, you know, clearly we're gonna name this a Kanye podcast. Even though I think that already exists, the Watch the Throne podcast or something. I follow him on Twitter. Oh, this is why I'm a true Kanye fan though. There's a guy a guy that Kanye follows on Twitter who follows me. So I'm connected to Kanye because if that guy retweets my tweets, Kanye could see it. Because Kanye follows him. So I'm a true Kanye fan. I got connections to Kanye low-key. So you better stop playing with me. I can get that connect real easy. I could be like, hey, I'm like, Kanye follow you, right? DM him. I'm doing this for us. Anyway, speaking more of Kanye. So since he's been in the news lately, I said that last episode too. Because he's really been in the news lately. I swear. That's why we talk about him so much. Because every day there's paparazzi pictures on my timeline. I'm like, why is Kanye so relevant lately? Because he wants to be seen. Yeah, he wants to be seen. But Easy came out. And my reaction to the song, it was good. I like the sample. I like the whole, like, how the game and Kanye was like, my life is never. And then they had the sample say, Easy. I think that's fire. But the song seemed like it was like, you know, it was pretty good. I feel like it was just, he just put the song out to spit it out. You could tell it was one of those, like, it was kind of like, all right, cool. Like, you know, it was pretty a song. You listened to the song, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you listen to it again without me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because when we listened to it, you wasn't even paying attention. I was so mad at you. But what you think? Cause I know you're a music guy.
I was
Obviously.
paying attention. You were just trying to talk to me while the song was playing. I couldn't pay attention to both people.
You had an AirPod in.
On the right side of my ear, but the TV was to the left side.
Yeah, but you can't listen to a song with an AirPod in.
It was playing off a TV. It's not like it was good speakers. Like
You're right. We should listen to it on speakers. What would you think about the song?
Wouldn't have helped.
True.
I like it.
Yeah, right. It was kind of like I think it was cool, but I feel like Kanye's not good with singles. Like all his what is his last few singles? He had Nah Nah Nah. Like his singles lately have just been like. Like you could tell he just put it out just to put it out though. I feel like he just wanted to get like a message out there to his kids and Kim and Pete, obviously.
I could have went my whole life without hearing that song and it would have been fine.
Did you like the sample?
No. I think that's what made it worse. No, I don't. And I love Hit Boy, but
what about do you know DJ Premier?
I do know DJ Premier.
What about everybody like the scratches at the end? He said, ee, 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 ee.
Yeah, he's been doing it for like 50 years.
You like that part?
No.
Yeah, the song was kind of mid. But what do you think about the Pete Davidson line? You think it was corny? Because that's the thing I'm going to get to next. I feel like people are so overcritical of Kanye, and it's starting to get on my last nerves. So do you think the Pete Davidson line was corny? Unnecessary, or do you think it's cool, like let people just do whatever they want, and for some people music is their outlet, and this is how Kanye expressed himself?
I think if you're alluding to beating somebody up, that you should just go do it and not make songs about it.
True, because you say that and then you see Pete in the street, he's like, okay, you say you want to beat me, on, let's go, and you get knocked out. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, I don't, because to me, who said this? Oh my God, who said this phrase? Not phrase, but quote. Who said this? I don't know who said it, but the quote is, "You need to be responsible with your art." And I feel like me, as somebody that makes music that will probably never, reach the masses, I still make music nonetheless.
Don't say that.
I
Manifest.
think. Stop chewing in the mic, first of all.
Okay.
Back up.
You was about to hit me?
And
I saw your fist.
You got to be responsible with your art. I feel like I would never make something. Music is too permanent. I would never make something that would include that. Like personally, like there's nothing. Like just go do it then. Like,
but do you also feel like though, like think about some rap beef. Some people's rap beef, like that, their songs that they came out with probably like their most iconic songs. Like you think about Tupac, everybody's talking about that song now because it was on Euphoria. Like the first line was, "I F'd your B, you fat MF."
And what?
No, I'm saying like that's like probably one of Tupac's most like iconic lines. And you say music is forever. And you think now if he was still alive, he would regret it?
No, I don't think he would regret it. But for me,
like he was talking crazy. That's a crazier line than I'm gonna beat Pete Davidson.
It does, yeah, but I hate when people do this. I hate when people take an extreme and then try to compare it to something.
No, I'm using what you said.
To
you
something
said,
else.
You said I think I would never say nothing like that in my songs since music is forever. But like, people have said crazier things.
Yeah, but that's not my basis for why I feel that way. It's not because people have.
But I'm saying like after that,
just 30 dead people.
I know, but I'm saying, but Tupac was talking crazy, and they never fought after that song came out.
Yeah, because they lived on two different coasts.
So get on a plane and go fight.
Different era.
Yeah, but Pete and Kanye live on different coasts. Pete is right over there.
And they did see in Tupac was shot, shortly after.
Yeah, but who killed Tupac? You think it was Biggie's people?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm not talking about when he got shot.
Oh, that shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that wasn't Biggie. Tupac thought it was. And that's why Tupac
it wasn't.
Paranoid and dipped.
But it doesn't. But it's not about it's not about people doing anything. Like, it's part of it. You know what the difference is? And it's not that I respect kids nowadays, but they rap that they're gonna go slide on ops, and then they actually do it. And while that's not an admirable thing to do, at least they're doing it.
But the kids that say that, a lot of them are gang members. Kanye's not a gang member, and neither is Pete. They're just like, okay, you know what's a good example?
Then don't say it. Then.
Let me chew real quick. I'm gonna give you a good example.
Like, how would I look tweeting somebody a random right now? I'm gonna come beat you up. This is stupid.
Yeah, but this is a good example. there's a TikToker who makes music. Her name's Nessa. She has a song. It's called "I Hope You're Miserable Until You're Dead." And the whole song is her saying how she hopes, like her ex. Well, she doesn't say who she's talking about, but it could be about her ex or her ex best friend. And she's saying how she hopes they're miserable to their dead. She hopes they lose all their friends. Like, just being, that's a harsh thing to say. Like, you hope somebody's miserable until they're dead. And she said like her rap genius thing or whatever, or it's just genius now. That obviously that's harsh, but that's the thing, because he said humans are humans. We think crazy thoughts sometimes. Like, you might not really mean that, but that's what you say sometimes when you're upset and you're mad. And that's what she wanted to get across. That like, yeah, that's harsh, but that's real, because that's how some people really feel sometimes. Like when they're really angry. And I feel that's the same thing you can say for Kanye. Like, he might be feeling like he's so hurt and upset, but he might not literally mean it. You know what I mean? Like the same thing. Like you might not really, you might not really hope that on somebody that they're really going to be miserable until they're dead. Same way Kanye might not really want to be him, but right now, in that moment, he's so angry. He's a human. That's his wife. That they've been together since 2012. That's 10 years. Like, that's why it's annoying me that people are acting like he doesn't have the right to be hurt or upset. Like, this is his wife with 4 kids. This is not no girlfriend that you have for 3 months. This is his wife. Like, people be subtweeting their girlfriends or boyfriends that they had for 3-4 months, for years. But God forbid Kanye says on one line, being a human, expressing anger and frustration about losing his wife to a man that he was all up in his face like they was cool. And a man that also disrespected him in the past. Like Pete has said that, made fun of Kanye during the whole Trump era, like 2018, wearing a hat saying make Kanye 2006 again. Like, he been had his name in his mouth, and like now he's with your wife, like ugh, or still your wife, ex-wife, like that. Yeah, it's an L, and it sucks. And I think Kanye's expressing his anger, like, and I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. That's art. That's human. That's people could relate to that. Like, I'm sure some guys out there singing at bars, like not literally having beef for Pete Davidson, but they have a Pete Davidson in mind that they're thinking of. I feel like a lot of men got Pete Davidsons out there, and they sing that line like, yeah, like they feeling it, and that's what music is about. Like, I don't see nothing wrong with it. He getting his anger out, and this is how he gets it out. I'd rather him get that like this than go on another rant on Twitter or TMZ, or at a concert. Like, I'd rather him get it out in his music. And I feel like he's a human. Like, he's expressing his anger, and it was a one-liner. Like, people act like he made a whole song about him, and that's what annoyed me. I'm like, he said one thing. Yeah, but he moved on saying, and my new beat
God
bad.
Saved me from a crash.
That's a little extreme.
Yeah, that shit was horrible. That line was horrible. I don't care. You're Kanye freedom fighter, so I know you can't say anything.
I'm not a Kanye freedom fighter. I'm a hypocrite fighter.
That line was stupid. And go do it, because then if you're allegedly knocking out fans, then go knock out Pete then, instead of putting it in a song.
But like I said, he might not literally feel that way. Like, sometimes people just say things out of anger, and I
don't. So I can't relate to when people do that. Anything I've ever said when I was angry, I meant.
But that's why this is art, though. This is like, I don't think music all the time is literally meant to take literal. It's an art form.
I think he literally meant that.
Well, yeah, but he might not always feel that way, but he might in the moment was upset. Like, let me get my feelings out in the studio.
Yeah, then engineer it, chop it up, put the reverb on it.
Yeah, but I just give you a very good example of that girl, her song, and that's how she explained it. She literally explained it the same way. She's like that's harsh, but that's how she was so hurt and angry when she wrote the song. That's how she felt in the moment. She said, I don't feel that way now. Like, I wish nothing but the best for my ex friends and boyfriends. But in the moment, that's how I felt, and I feel like people could relate to this music, because when you're angry, you blast a song, and now you get it out of your system.
Okay.
I mean, do you think that he could have did it in a smoother, slicker way? And maybe not even name dropped him. You think he could have did it in a smoother way? And like, what do you think about Julia Fox saying like who after they said?
For me, it's almost the equivalent of somebody crying and then putting a camera in their face. Like, you put that line in there, had the engineer record it. You probably recorded that verse multiple times to make sure you got the right take. Put the reverb on it, put the delay on it, EQ'd it, all that. And then put it out and then sold it.
But how's that any different than rap beef? Or battle rap?
In what sense? Battle rap is different.
Yeah, but how's that any different? Like, you rehearse those battle rap lines. Like, how's it any different than people recording disses all the time? Like, this is not new. Like, I feel like everybody acting like this is so crazy. When Drake, that's literally his whole discography, is sneak dissing people and saying all this crazy stuff, and he doesn't do nothing. He talking about mob ties. What mob ties? What bodies you got? Who you sent to kill people? Like, I feel like that's annoying to me, because people gas up this stuff and everybody else does it, but when Kanye does it, they're overly critical about it. Like, everybody does this. Everybody
doesn't do this.
No, but everybody re-records lines. Like, and a lot of people have music that's personal to them, and they re-record those lines too. People make songs about heartbreak and they re-record the same lines over and over again about real stuff that happened to them. You know? I just feel like people are just overly critical of Kanye for some reason. Because they already just don't like him for other things. And then everybody's just overly critical when everybody does this. Like, I even looked it up because I was like, all right, maybe I'm crazy. But I looked it up. They said literally the most common theme in music, like I think it was like number 2 or 3 on the list, is heartbreak. This is not new. People talk about heartbreak all the time. They talk about their exes. They talk about their ex's new girl. Some of the songs, I look better than that girl that you with. Like that's always music. But Kanye says he want to be his ex-wife's new man.
That's because he said a specific name.
But I respect that. I respect doing that than Subliminals and Drake. I respect that more than Drake's dropping sneakers. You got to be like, oh, who's this about? Is this about Rihanna? Is this about Jordan Smith? Like that's weird that you got to sit there and calculate who can Drake talking about. At least Kanye.
Well, then you can say everything. Everybody's music's weird then.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody's music's weird. That's literally the point I'm making. People think Kanye's weird, but they don't have that energy for everybody else. I don't think it's weird. I think it's lit. That's a great way to get your feelings out through music. Like that's your artwork and that's how you express yourself. That's what I'm saying. My critique is for people that say Kanye's weird, because then keep that same energy for Drake. Keep that same energy for Summer Walker, who made a whole album about London on the Track. Everybody was like, yes. But it's weird that Kanye did it. Kanye said one line, but Summer Walker had a whole album about London on the Track, literally from the beginning of the relationship to the end. And everybody was like, masterpiece. But Kanye says one line. And Summer Walker name dropped London. He said, London, did you screw this B for real? She name dropped him. Everybody's like, but Kanye does it, and he's mentally ill. He needs his meds. Like, that's why it's just frustrating to me, because it's so weird. Like, what's the hypocrisy? You see what my frustration? I'm not even like, it's not like I'm a Kanye fan, but people are really crazy to me. Like, you guys think Kanye's crazy. You guys are the crazy ones, because this is really crazy. Like, that you gas up somebody for doing it. But when Kanye does it, it's just because it's so cool to hate Kanye. It's so cool to criticize him that everybody's like, oh, that was weird. But Drake can make a whole song by Jordan Smith. You got to try to figure out if it's about her. Like, that's not weird. But Kanye's weird. You know what I mean? Like, do I sound crazy right now? Do I sound like a super fan? Like, I just don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. But you see what I mean, right? Or do I sound crazy?
For the sake of not continuing the argument, no, you don't sound crazy. But if anybody else did that same exact thing, you would feel differently.
I wouldn't, though. That's the thing. Like, I never had an issue with Drake, like, doing what he does. Like, my only issue I said with him was that I just think it's weird how he always has beef with people. Like, I just think that's annoying. Like, when in the beginning we had all this beef, I was like, yeah, back to back. I was all for it. But after a while, I was like, all right, Drake, we get it. You got another beef. Like, that's why I stopped being a fan of him, because it was just getting the most. Like, I literally still play back to to this day. Like, I never cared for the beef. Like, I love rap beef. But he just annoyed me because it's like, you got beef with everybody. You got beef with females. You got beef with males. Like, all right. It's like, come on, Drake. But I always keep the same energy for all music. Like, I like that. I said, I love music for what it is, because this is what people talk about. Like, people express their heartbreak. They express friendship problems. They express all that. But I just feel like when Kanye does it, people are mad about it. And it's weird to me. Like, all of a sudden, everybody's Kim Kardashian superheroes. Like, everybody's caping for her.
No,
like,
it's just people don't like Kanye. So
exactly, and people don't like men, and people don't like men. All these women hate the Kardashians, but now that Kanye is involved and is a man, all of a sudden, Kim is strong. Kanye, leave her alone. Like, I thought you guys hated Kim. What is going on? Now you guys are defending him because you hate men so much that now, and you hate Kanye so much that now you're a Kim defender. Like.
But you gotta bring specific examples, because I've seen nothing but still hate for Kim too.
Nah, you gotta look at the shade comment.
After she got yeah, but that's just what that's algorithm based.
Yeah, but Twitter too is like that.
That's like,
my Twitter's not really like that, 'cause I follow a lot of Kanye fans, so luckily
your algorithm is different. My algorithm saw her getting killed for her stepping in to try to get that guy less years for the truck driving accident, and that even after they got he got a lesser sentence, still dissing her.
Nah, I seen opposite. I seen people. That's the thing.
My algorithm is different.
People support my algorithm. People support Kim during her lawyer stuff, which I'm like, okay, fair. Like, that's great that she's doing that. And people will support her for her activism, because it's like, okay, cool. Yeah, she is probably one of the only celebrities that actually uses their voice. So, cool. But all of a sudden now they defend her over this stuff. Like, it's crazy to me. Even like, And I guess I think it's more of a hatred for Kanye too, because nobody's defending Chloe. But the reason why the people aren't defending Chloe in her situation is because she's still with Tristan, and Kanye basically snitched on Chloe when he made that video about not getting the address for the party.
I probably won't find it, but do you know roughly when that happened?
What? Oh, the truck driving thing? Ooh. That was obviously last year. It had to be December. It wasn't that long ago.
Well, no, like Kim's involvement this year.
Yeah, that was probably December.
Oh, we're in January.
Yeah. It's last month. That was only probably the beginning of last month.
All right. We can talk about something else. I probably won't be able to find it.
No, I want to go back to what you were saying, though, like, with the name dropping. Because, like, that was a good example. Like, Summer Walker name dropped London. So, don't you think the name dropping is actually better than having to guess about who they're talking about? Don't you think that says more about you, like, that you actually was able to say their name? Like, that makes you seem like less of a wimp. Like, you know, that's the thing. Everybody on Twitter be like, stop subtweeting, say it with your chest. Kanye says it with his chest. Everybody else, he needs his meds.
Yeah, I think it depends. Like, two things here. First, maybe if the line was better. Yeah. I just didn't think that was probably what turned me off the most. Is like, all right, you're saying that after all the amazing things that you've done for everything and everybody, and you're feeding your family and all this other stuff, and the one thing that you said is that God saved you from the crash, just for this specific reason, because Pete is dogging your wife in the house that you paid for.
Yeah, I mean, to say that's the reason why God saved you is kind of extreme. He could have twisted the whole crash thing better. I know, you know, he was trying to get off with the whole crash and obviously rhyming it, but I feel like he could have got it off a little better. Like,
to answer the question more directly, yeah, I respect it way more when somebody says this person's specific name, but I also need action in addition to that, because to me that's no different than like people that have burner accounts and tweeting or like posting comments on somebody and then like won't, like that's soft in my opinion. Or like saying you're gonna do something like, oh, I'm gonna beat your ass, like, and then you don't do anything. To me that's just soft, because then just don't say anything, or like maybe make the line different then, because you're talking about physical act of violence or something.
Yeah, maybe he could have called him out, like just called him a cornball or said something. He could have said something funny and slick. But the thing is, like I said, people hate Kanye so much that they'll still twist it anyway to think that he's bitter. They're like, oh, he's giving bitter. He's giving bitter. That was his wife.
Which I agree with, but
wife,
also
not girlfriend. I know you guys girls aren't used to having a guy ask you to be his girl. You girls not used to being wifed. But yeah,
you're being a fangirl.
No, I'm not. But it's just weird. Like I don't like the hypocrisy. Like I see girls literally repost Justin LeBoy tweets on their Instagram story for months, talk with the 100 emojis, talking about at my ex, blah blah. Like it'll be like Justin LeBoy tweets like about upgrade. I'm the upgrade. Girls be talking about I'm the he fumbled me. Look at his new girl. He downgraded. They do that all day. That's their whole timeline. But God forbid Kanye says one line, now he's bitter. That was his wife. You're bitter about a man that didn't even ask you to be his girl, that you still subtweet about years later, that you talked to for 2 months.
But also,
that's not bitter and kind of psychotic. Like
low key.
No, listen, hear me out. Girls will literally have a guy that they talk to, wasn't even their boyfriend, of a certain zodiac sign, and now you'll see tweets for years. Geminis are crazy. I talked to one. I messed with one. They're narcissists. This. That's not bitter, but Kanye's bitter for throwing a shot at a man that was in his face that's now with his wife. His wife, not girlfriend, wife. Like, I just feel like people are just weird and hypocrites. Like, everybody gasses up their friends all the time that do that. That subtweet and post, girl, you look better than his new girl. Don't you worry, you look better than her. Or, you know, they do the same thing guys. I don't know how guys talk, but they'll be like, oh, her new man. I don't think guys do that, because guys don't care. You guys don't be talking about the girl's new man. Like, I think guys move on. But that's the thing, because it's mostly girls in the comments that are criticizing Kanye. That's why I'm targeting girls. Like, I know I always be saying, like, I hate women on here, I'm a pick me. But it's because girls are the main ones that be in the shade room comments, like, calling Kanye bitter. But you're not bitter, you do the same thing. And the only difference is you're not famous, so no one notices, A. B, that wasn't your husband that you subtweet about. Like, don't you just see the hypocrisy? And I just want to know why. Like, what is
this podcast shouldn't exist?
No, I know you're not a psychiatrist, but I just need to understand why people are like that.
because they don't like him. So if you don't like somebody, you'll try to just not like them. But also, it's one of those things, like in my reviewing and life experiences and all stuff, dealing with mental health issues and all that other stuff. Not me personally, just other people.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with it, but just didn't want to try to falsely claim anything there. But it's social media is trying to make sense of something that doesn't make sense, and you drive yourself mad trying to figure out something where it's nonsensical. It's like trying to
You think I'm gonna drive myself mad, right?
Yeah, that's why I said like this podcast shouldn't exist. So much of the of the discussions are about people's opinions and perceptions on social media and trying to make sense of why people feel the way they do.
But I think we're giving a good outlook, at least. I'm trying to make them reach middle ground. I feel like people don't talk about this stuff. Like, people usually sway to one side. I try to I sway to a side, but I try to just get across through this podcast for people just to not be hypocrites. Like, I'm all for it. If you're gonna feel that way across everything. Like, I can't take anybody serious in an argument or anything if they're not gonna consistently have a viewpoint. Like, you can't be calling somebody bitter, but then you're blasting Summer Walker. Like, I'm sorry, you can't. Summer Walker literally does she have a song called Bitter? No, that's Queen. Somebody has something about Bitter. No, Summer Walker has a song called Bitter too, but that's about the baby mamas being bitter. But like, you can't say that about Kanye, but then you blast Drake. Because Drake is literally the king of subliminals and the king of talking about bitter. If you really want to talk about it, he has a whole song about girls that don't want him. Like, that's bitter. Like, you have whole songs about Rihanna and Georgia Smith and whoever other girls that he's been with. Like, for me, that's bitter. But like, it's just, if you're gonna call Kanye bitter, you gotta call Drake bitter. You gotta call Summer Walker bitter. You gotta call anybody who makes songs about heartbreak bitter. You have guys in the 90s, like, I don't think people listen to the lyrics. Like, all the music is the same stuff. Like, that one song you played for me, and it was like, the guy was talking about how he wants the wife. Like, it was sick. It just, people don't know how sick the lyrics are because this voice is
God, why am I forgetting his
godly.
name?
Like, the whole song is about how he wants the wife and how we shouldn't be doing this. Like, but it sounds over a soulful beat, so everybody's like dancing.
I don't think
no, the lyrics are sick. Listen to the lyrics. The lyrics of all these songs that people love so much, like, all these throwbacks. Listen to them. Like,
I'm forgetting his name. It's Carl Thomas.
Yeah, how that song goes, like, isn't something like They Don't Know or something?
Nah, that's a different song.
Yeah, you have it too, because you're sick. Yeah. Put it on the speaker, because I know people know on the microphone. I know people know this song.
It's that word. And I wish I never met her.
Yeah.
It was love at first sight.
And she's married.
And she married.
And he knows that.
She was unhappily married with children. And I wish I never met her. Now, the sick part, hold on. Let me get to the sick part.
But people won't see that to be crazy. That's normal. That's normal. But Kanye is crazy for expressing his hurt about a marriage
What did he say? He said she left to go be a happy family, but what about me?
Yeah. But everybody's at the cookout, like, but
even though I love her so, and she got love for me. Oh my God.
But you see my point though, right? Like, yeah, and you had to point that out to me, because I didn't even realize sometimes why I'm listening to it. I don't think so many people understand, like, what else do we talk about in music? That's why I had to look up. I'm like, all right, maybe I'm crazy, but I had to look up the topics to see. That's literally like number 3 on the list. It's heartbreak. Like, and for some lists, I'm sure it's number 1. So it just makes me annoyed, because it's like, you can't have that feeling about Kanye when the divorce is still fresh. Like, they're not even officially divorced, and they're calling him bitter over a one-liner. Meanwhile, songs like that exist. Like, they're calling him crazy. Even they're saying he needs meds. What's his name? Carl Thomas. Carl Thomas needs meds. How this girl got a wife and kids, and you talking about what about me? Like, that's not sick. That's not psychotic. But Kanye is crazy because he's upset about his wife that he was with for 10 years, that he has 4 kids with, that his family's falling apart, and he's just expressing that, saying that he's angry, he wants to beat the new man. Like, that's normal to me. Everybody feels that way. Even when they always say, oh, don't be mad at the new woman, don't be mad at the man, it's normal to feel that anger towards them, especially if they were in your face. Like, they got pictures together. Kanye and Pete got pics together, like, you know? Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. Like, yeah. I ain't gonna say he needs to heal and he needs meds, but tell your psychotic friend that. Tell her she needs to heal. But you guys literally encourage that when your friends do it. But you got all of a sudden you a psychiatrist for Kanye. but your friend been posting Justin LeBoy tweets on her Instagram story for years. You don't tell her she needs meds. That's another thing too. You know, like most people, like you talked about, like your experience, like this dealing with people with mental health. Most people walk around with undiagnosed mental health issues and illnesses, and those same people are trying to say that other people need help and need meds. Like, no, maybe you need meds. Your mom probably needs meds. Like, you have so many undiagnosed mental health people in your life, and you worry about Kanye. And it's just annoying. I feel like it's like, I talked about this on my Twitter. Like, for me, I take it personally too with that stuff because, like, you know, my cousin, like I had a cousin who literally is no longer here because of mental health, and you guys are gonna keep constantly misdiagnosing and making jokes of Kanye's mental health. Like, it's just very frustrating to me, and that's partially why I get so passionate about it, because like, you know, we both have experience with people with mental health. It's not funny. It's not a joke for people just to be like, oh, he needs his meds because he's expressing his hurt. He's being a human being. So
that's why I tell you to stop.
I get upset because it's like, no, you're not going to say that when I have a cousin who's not even here anymore because of his mental health. So please.
That's why I still tell you to stop watching that Diamond Girls lives for entertainment purposes. I
don't watch it for entertainment purposes. I watch it because I'm genuinely concerned.
No, you're not.
I am. How you going to say I'm not? I literally always, I do on my burner because I'm not about to do that on my real account.
Oh my God, look what she's doing now.
No, at first I thought it was an act, but once she actually went to the hospital, I was like, okay, this is real. Like, you can never trust these social media people. They do anything for clout. Like, this girl, there was a video going around about this mom slapping her kid or whatever because he wasn't acting sad enough because they wanted to make a video. She kept to edit it. She didn't edit it, and she kept that part in by accident, like trying to get him to look sad. Yeah, like, so you know, you can't believe everything on social media. But once I realized this was serious, I really am watching for genuine concern because, you know, anybody can help. If I'm that person that's witnessing it and I can say something or do something, my comment might help. So, yeah, that's why I get so passionate about it, because it's just annoying. And that everybody, like, it's just like, your friend probably has mental illness that's undiagnosed, and you worry about Kanye. Like, worry about the people that are in your life and give them that attention, you know? So, I know this was like a long-winded rant, but I really had to get it off because that's like I said, that's my issue. I just want people to not be hypocrites. Like, I can't have a debate with you. I can't have a conversation with you. I can't have an argument with you. I can't have nothing with you if you're not going to be consistent in your mindset, you know? Like, I just respect consistency. And I'm all about research and, like, backing my arguments. That's why I bring up that song that you were just playing, because it's like, I like to show parallels, like, about how this type of music existed for years. I'm sure rock music has, like, even crazier lyrics, right? Like, don't the rock star people be talking crazy in their music? Mm-hmm. And no one ever says anything. And I just don't like the hypocrisy. Like, you know, obviously I'm a Kanye fan. I don't think, if that wasn't clear and obvious by now, it should be for anybody who's consistently watched this podcast. But it's just like, I'm all for just being consistent, and like, I hate hypocrites, and I can be a hypocrite sometimes. I'm not perfect. And I always try to make sure I'm not being a hypocrite, and I always try to make sure I'm consistent with my thoughts. And I'm all for people developing and growing it, and you could change your mindset over years, but most people don't do that. Most people are hypocrites 100%, 24/7, and that's my issue. And like I said, obviously I'm a Kanye fan. Like, Kanye, I don't want to be one of, you know how people be like, I'm not saying they're dramatic because it's real. You know, people be like, this artist saved their life. Kanye didn't save my life, but he impacted my life. I'm not going to lie and say he didn't. Like, I was very, like, I wouldn't say I was insecure in high school or middle school, but I wasn't, like, all the way there, like, with how I am now. You know, obviously people like him and Nicki and their music made me, like, confident. It made me be like, all right, manifest, speak my life into existence, have confidence in everything I do. So yeah, I'm gonna defend Kanye. I'm gonna defend the person who literally has an impact into the music industry. Like, I just don't get it. I just don't get why people are hypocrites, and I just hate sheep. Like, the way everybody's like, push the P. Like, you guys are weird. I'm no offense. I don't care if anybody watches this and they say that, you're weird, because it's like, why do you wait for somebody? Like, Gunna's not weird. Gunna's lit because he came up with that. You come up with something. Like, why you guys gotta wait and sit around for something to be trendy and like, all right, we got a new slogan. We got a new slang. Like, that's weird. Like, you guys wait around like sheep and wait for something to pop off and be cool, and everybody else does it. And I just feel like people are just weird. Like, I just don't like hypocrites. I don't like sheep, clearly. And it's like, that's the thing. Like, first it was slat, my slime. Like, I don't know if you saw that tweet. Now it's pee. And like, it's just, and girls do it too, like with the whole period thing. Like, period been the thing. Like, people been saying period, but it's the way you guys are saying it is because the city girls said it like that. Like, come on. Like, someone tried to say that, like, period's been around. Don't be obtuse. You know the way you say it has not always been around. Like, it became global after the city girls. Maybe people from Florida, that's how they probably said it, you know? But you wasn't saying that in Missouri. You wasn't saying it like that. You wasn't saying that in Connecticut. Because that's not even your dialect. Like, so it's just like, that's obviously a part of it. Sheep culture, like, everybody just follows. And, like, social media is just scaring me because you really see a lot of people are just so blinded and, like, just following whatever is cool. Like, it became cool collectively to not like Kanye. Nobody can have a mind their own. Nobody can have their own opinion. But when this Netflix dot drop, I promise you, I promise you, I'm predicting it now. There's going to be a shift and everybody's going to be like, oh, Kanye, he's so an icon. And then you go to their Twitter, you're going to see tweets from years ago. And you could change your opinion on people, you know? Like, you could do that. But it's like, most people, like I said, they're not doing that. And most people just follow whatever the narrative is. And it's just crazy. Like, I really just feel like I'm an oddball. Because I just feel like I'm different. You know when girls be like, I'm different. Right? Baby, respond to me. I'm trying to wrap up. I know you said an hour. We're gonna do short pod today. But I'm trying to wrap it up. Like you see what my issue is, right? Like I just
oh my God,
no. I just need you to understand.
Literally like 50 minutes.
Okay.
Yes, I understand.
That's the topic of this pod. It was a 1 hour podcast for one topic. Well, we had like 3 topics, and we talked about teachers and.
Yeah, I understand.
Cookies.
I understood not the 40-minute mark ago.
Oh my God, no! I'm just asking you because you had never really responded. Like you know, to wrap this up, like.
Yeah, you just repeated what you said before.
No, but you were
so.
the same way too. Like, especially when it comes to sheep culture. Like, I know that's like your biggest pet peeve because like you hate that. I know for sure because especially when it comes to the fashion stuff.
I don't care.
Well, yeah, you don't care at the end of the day, but I'm saying like you don't follow sheep culture yourself. Like you do what you want. You wear what you want. You buy what you want. You don't wait for trends to tell you what to do. So like I just hate that whole like even when you had your issue with Kanye, right? Like you explained what your issue was and you left it at that. That was that. But like everybody else was like continuing on this hate train and it's just very weird. It's so weird. I just hate it. Like I just hate sheep culture. So I'm just very glad that I am not with a cornball. Cause a lot of these men out here are really whack and really weird. And they wait for trends, you know? Like not everybody think about it, a lot of men are weird. So thank God that you're not one of them. Like you're your own individual. You wear what you want. You dress how you want. You talk how you want. You don't wait for Gunna or a little baby to give you new slang. You're you. And I just want everybody to be them. Feel how you feel. Don't let the internet tell you how to feel about somebody or something. Do your research and be consistent. Like that's all. If you're not any of that, don't talk to me. I don't want to have a conversation. I don't want to. Don't mention me on Twitter. Because people try to fight with me on Twitter. No, none of that. Because I'm not doing that hypocrisy sheep stuff. Like sheeps, you guys are the weakest links. If something happens, you guys are gonna be the first to go because it's like I just don't get it. Like I really just deeply am disturbed by people not wanting to be individuals. That type of stuff scares me. Does it scare you?
I don't care.
Do you think it's identity crisis?
I don't know.
No, I'm really trying to understand. Like, I like to pick people's brains to try to get to the root of this, but it's hard to pick the brain of somebody who's not what I'm trying to understand. I would need to talk to somebody who's like, textbook sheep. But I don't really know anybody who is so. But I don't know. It's just this is a sense of individuality that I feel like is lost, and just I don't get it. Like it's so cool to be you. And people be talking about how rare they are. Like, I'm rare. But how you rare when you talk like how everybody else talks and you dress how everybody else dress. And you wait for a trend to do something like... I love people who just do stuff because they want to do it. And feel the way they feel because they're themselves. So, yeah. Rambling. I probably sounded really crazy on this podcast. Like, people probably think I need meds, right? People probably be like, you the crazy one. But I'm not. That's why I'm Team Kanye, because people think Kanye's crazy for speaking their mind. Like, no, I'm just expressing myself and I'm passionate about this because I just am annoyed, and that's, you know. Of course, I don't know Kanye, but I still feel for him. Like, it must be annoying to constantly have to be dragged by the media and have to worry about what picture they're gonna paint the view. You know, like everybody was mad that he put that video out saying how he didn't get the address for Chicago's party. Like, people were mad about that. You know, obviously a lot of people were on his side. They're like, wow, see, you know, man, you could be a billionaire, still deal with bitter baby mama. Like, a lot of people were on his side, but you know, you had those outliers that were like, why put this on the internet? Like, why not deal with this? But we don't understand what it's like to be a celebrity. We don't understand what it's like to be Kanye, especially that's targeted. Like, if he didn't put that out there, he might have never got that address, you know? And next thing you know, the media would have spun it that he wasn't at the party. Kanye absent from his daughter's birthday party. A mid-easy verse about Pete Davidson. Is he mad? Like, I can't imagine being a famous person and having to deal with that. So I feel for him. And just being an empath, like, I'm very in tune with other people's emotions, and it's just frustrating. And that people are just so, like, just weird and just mean. But yeah. But I'm not crazy. I'm just defending him. I'm just passionate about it. Defending my fellow human. You know, we always like peace and love and harmony and care, and I'm so nice and girl power and this, that, and no. People are not like that. Everybody's mean. But yeah, do you have any last words? Don't have a quick little nope. Baby, stop. But no, for real, because you probably damn crazy. Let people know I'm not crazy. Let them know I'm not crazy.
Thank you guys for watching and listening and tuning in onto whatever digital streaming platform that you decided to listen to us on. This has been the A Couple of Things podcast, where we talked about Kanye. A couple of things. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, we appreciate the support if you made it this far. Yeah.
Am I crazy?
I'm Alex G, and I'm alongside Mal.
Baby, let them know I'm not crazy.
And we will see you guys next time.
I'm about to eat this pickle.
Take care.